Welcome to Tech News for 27 June 2021. Massive leak reveals most of Motorola H20 lineup. Few weeks ago, it was revealed that the upcoming Motorola smartphones under development have the code names Berlin, Berlin NA, P-Star and Kyoto. Earlier this week, renowned source Ivan Blass claimed that Kyoto phone will be known as the Motorola H20 Lite when it hits the market. Thus, it's not difficult to conclude that Berlin NA and P-Star are the rest of the H20 series. All of these essential specs of the rumored H20 range have been revealed in a new massive leak by Blass. According to the leaks, the Motorola smartphone with the code name Berlin NA for North America, will feature a 6.78-inch display with Full HD 1080 by 2460 pixel resolution, a 120Hz high refresh rate, and a center punch hole cutout for the selfie camera. The Berlin and the Berlin NA both will be powered by the Qualcomm Snapdragon 778 5G chipset coupled with up to 8GB of RAM. There will be a special edition variant of the device with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of internal storage as well. A new study finds that coronavirus epidemic hit 20,000 years ago. Researchers have found evidence that a coronavirus epidemic swept East Asia some 20,000 years ago and was devastating enough to leave an evolutionary imprint on the DNA of the people alive today. The new study suggests that an ancient coronavirus plagued the region for many years, researchers say. The finding could have dire implications for the COVID-19 pandemic if it's not brought under control soon through vaccination. It should make us worry, said David Enar, an evolutionary biologist at the University of Arizona who led the study, which was published on Thursday in the journal Current Biology. What's going on right now might be going on for generations and generations. YouTube took down videos documenting Xinjiang human rights abuses. YouTube is facing criticism for cracking down on videos documenting China's alleged abuses against Uyghur Muslims in the country's Xinjiang province. Reuters has learned that YouTube took down a dozen of videos from Atajert Kazakh human rights and at one point removed the channel itself for supposedly violating the site's anti-harassment policy through videos discussing the disappearance of people in Xinjiang. The site told Atajert it received numerous strikes for videos in which people held up ID cards to show they were related to missing Xinjiang residents, breaking a rule against showing sensitive personal information. The takedowns followed reports from unnamed parties. The takedowns raise questions both about the clarity of YouTube's policies and the origins of the request. Volkswagen plans to stop selling combustion engine vehicles in Europe by 2035. Volkswagen plans to stop selling combustion engines in Europe by 2035, a board member told a German newspaper. Klaus Selmer, Volkswagen's board member for sales, told the newspaper that the company would exit the business with internal combustion engine cars in Europe between 2033 and 2035. But he added, it would take longer to stop selling combustion engines in the US and China. That'll come somewhat later, he said. And in South America and Africa, where he said it'll take a good deal longer. Selmer said the automaker's entire fleet will be carbon neutral by 2050 at the latest. He wants to see electric vehicles to account for 70% of the company's total sales in Europe by 2030. Synologys DMS7 OS to enhance security and system management. Synology today announced the upcoming release of Disk Station Manager DMS7 and a massive expansion for Synology C2 platform with 4 new cloud services. DMS7 is set to release on June 29th and focuses on enhancing security, system management capabilities, and improving data collaboration for Synology's NAS or Network Attached Storage and SAN or Storage Area Networks product lines. Synology is also rolling out both hybrid and cloud-only products, including a new password manager, directory as a service, cloud backup, and secure file transferring solutions. The company will also be starting work on opening a new data center location to expand its services to the Asia Pacific region. SpaceX plans to launch its first orbital Starship test flight in July. SpaceX might conduct Starship's first orbital test flight in a matter of weeks. According to CNBC, SpaceX President Gwen Shotwell told those at the online International Space Development Conference that the company was shooting for July when planning the orbital trip. Shotwell was aware of the challenges but said that her firm was really on the cusp of that key journey. The current orbital flight plan has a Starship prototype launching from Boca Chica, Texas and dropping its super heavy booster stage into the Gulf of Mexico after roughly 3 minutes. The spacecraft would enter orbit and make a soft water landing near Hawaii after a total time of about 90 minutes. CRISPR gene editing breakthrough could treat many more diseases. CRISPR gene editing already promises to fight diseases that were once thought unassailable, but techniques so far have required injecting the tools directly into affected cells. That's not very practical for some conditions. However, there's just been a breakthrough. NPR reports that researchers have published results showing that you can inject CRISPR-Cas9 into the bloodstream to make edits, opening the door to the use of gene editing for treating many common diseases. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. You can read about these stories in detail from the links provided in the description.